Hello and welcome to the No Balls podcast. I'm your host, Patrick McDonald, with me co-host Sheldon Kaufman. Today is a bi-weekly recap for the NBA season. We're closing in on the playoffs. We'll have some fun things to talk about today. Before we do that, Sheldon has a round of trivia questions for me. We'll see how this goes. What's the first one I got for me? You got me for me today, Sheldon.
All right. So we'll start off. We'll start off a little crazy. All right. So NBA All-Star Jermaine O'Neal spent most of his career with the Pacers, but what team actually drafted him in 1996, Patrick? Jermaine O'Neal.
Okay, this is starting good. This is something that you either know or you don't know.
No.
And
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
and I want to. It was either this was like a weird thing with like the Vince Carter stuff. So it was either the Warriors or the Magic.
No, Patrick, incorrect. It was the Portland Trailblazers.
No.
Close though, right conference.
Okay, I was thinking of somebody else. 50% chance to get the right conference. All right. Yeah, that was probably a good level of difficulty, I would say.
Okay.
Jermaine O'Neal.
Jermaine O'Neal. All right. Round 2, Pat. Round 2.
Yep.
All right, round 2. Patrick, your next question. Which player who was drafted out of St. John's in 1999 is known for getting a bunch of technical fouls, and he's a lockdown defender at the wing position?
Is this just Rasheed Wallace?
No, I give you one more hint. Hold on.
A lot of technical fouls, lockdown wing.
Played for the Lakers.
2009 or 1999.
Played for the Lakers.
Lakers. Run our test.
Yes. Good, Pat. Good. All right. Not too bad. All right. Next one. All right. Let's get this one. This one is more up your alley, Pat. I think this is a little more easier. Which player did the Lakers give up for Kobe Bryant?
It was Vlade, right?
You said Vlade Divac.
Vlade Divac, yeah.
Good. All right. Not too bad.
Okay, that's 1 for 3. I'm not taking credit for the second one.
All right, we'll do.
Got it wrong the first time. I got a hint. I'm not taking credit.
We'll do. How much you want to do? Like 2 more, 3 more?
Shit. Yeah, do 2 more since you got a lot more. All right.
Yeah. We'll go easy. We'll go easy one and a hard one. All right, or maybe easy one. Which member of Michigan's Fab Five spent his first 2 seasons with Denver and then made his way onto the Pacers, where he spent most of his career?
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know. Yeah, I'll throw out a guess though. Is it Roy Hibbert?
No, Jalen Rose.
Okay.
He gave up 81 to Kobe, right?
Yeah, that's like the only thing I remember him for. It's his time on the Raptors.
Oh. All right. Okay. This is we'll do a nickname one. What was the most famous
Oh
nickname?
God.
What was the most famous nickname for Sam Perkins? Any idea?
I literally don't know.
All right. Last one.
No, it's gonna be crazy.
It's the Big Smooth. The Big Smooth.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Oh no. Only nickname I respect is Jason Tatum, the Green Gooner.
Yo. I didn't hear about that one.
Yeah. It hasn't made its way to Basketball Reference yet, I don't think. But,
that one hasn't made its way on the Basketball Reference.
Trust it's there.
I'm gonna trust you on that one. You on that one.
Yeah, is that all we got, or do you have one more?
Okay. Who is the Who was the NBA Finals MVP in 2002?
Done too, so it's a Laker. I mean, was it not just Shaq?
Good, Patrick. Way to end off on a bang. Yeah, it was Shaq. Shaq in 02, back when him and Kobe are still boys. Crazy beef. How you gonna beef with your boy like that? Like, come on. But yeah, Shaquille O'Neal, 2002 Finals MVP. Let's get into the episode, Pat. I'm excited for this one. Let's talk about some teams,
Yeah,
some players, all that.
of course. Yeah, extended trivia today. I don't know. We might do it a little more, maybe. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's always subject to change. Teams. There's 30 of them in the NBA. Is there any one specifically that you want to start with?
There's a lot. There's a lot. I'll start off highlighting a team. Um I'll start off highlighting a team that we haven't been like too kind of fond about. And that's the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're on
I was gonna guess
they're
that.
on a 6 game wins, huh?
Is that I was just
Oh
gonna
yeah.
guess that. You're good.
The Minnesota Timberwolves, and Pat, the thing I wanted to bring up, which I think you might find really interesting, is they now have the 10th best offense in the league. And I know you like that 10-10 rule with the offense and defense and efficiency. They now have the 7th best defense and the 10th best offense. They're on a 6 game win streak, 7-3 in their last 10. Ants hooping. Nas Reed has been really playing really good ball, along with Jaden McDaniels, and they just beat the Nuggets by 10 points. And I don't think they were favored in that game either. Um, Julius Randle has been playing. He came back from the injury that he's been suffering. Um, he's been playing really good, and this is a team that could make some noise in the playoffs potentially, Pat. And they're battling for the 6th spot right now with the Warriors, and they're only 3 games out of the 5 seed. Um, what are we thinking? I mean, this is a potential not playing team. I think them and the Warriors are going to be battling for that spot as the season comes down to an end.
Yeah, I mean they've played awesome, right? And the thing with them always was, is their offense gonna be not garbage enough? And there was like a 2 month stretch where it was Anthony Edwards playing point guard, and it was just the offense looked ugly out there, and we were never really sure what this Minnesota team could be. Currently, they're a half game behind Golden State for a non-play-in spot, and I think there's a lot of benefit to not being in the play-in, right? Because then you don't play OKC first round. Maybe you could argue you wouldn't play Memphis over Denver, but either way, like you'd rather avoid the play-in.
To
11th in offense for Basketball Reference. It probably is different on uh, NBA.com. And then 7th I have as well on defense. Overall on net rating, they're 3rd. Their SRS, which is opponent adjusted net rating, is 5th in the NBA. They're looking like a huge sleeper team, and I don't know what it's gonna look like in the playoffs. Maybe it's like the just like last year where they got cardiac Anthony Edwards, where he's just he's taking a bunch of crazy shots, but he's making a lot more of them, and it gives their offense a good floor, but the ceiling might not be super high. I think having Julius Randle back to do some of that also, like floor raising of their offense, has been pretty important for them, and they've been really good the past 6 games, and they're always going to be good defensively. They have Rudy Gobert there. Notice how the season never went to shit. It could have definitely gone to shit if Rudy Gobert wasn't there anchoring the defense. It's also been pretty good when Gobert hasn't been there as well. So, do you have anything else on Minnesota? Because I think they're really fun.
um, let's see. They're potentially playing the Grizzlies or the Nuggets. I think they could take a team pretty deep into the. I mean, pause, but I think they could take a team pretty deep into like a 5 or 6 game series. Um, Yeah, I think they could win a couple at home. I think they could win a couple at home. Um,
Yeah. It
I just don't know if they could beat. Do I see them beating the Nuggets? I don't know. I don't know if I can see them
I don't know.
beating
I don't know
beating the
either.
Nuggets or the Grizzlies, but I think we could get some really interesting match. I think like I said, like game 6, game 5, um, type of type of thing. I just don't know if their offense will be able to like come in clutch. I just don't know. I think the Nuggets and the Grizzlies are just really on another level right now. Um, but yeah, I think that will be competitive.
Yeah. I think this is something. Yeah. I think it's something we can like know for sure. Well, not for sure, but we'll know a lot more about in a couple of games. Not a couple of games, but by the time the playoffs roll around, we'll really know how we feel about Minnesota because this is kind of like a newer revelation. Um, I think it could be interesting because I mean they've played really great. They're rolling in, at least if they continue at this pace, they're rolling in the playoffs uh, on a roll, and that typically is what forms playoff upsets. And I mean, we could talk about it. Like, who do you think the second best team in the Western Conference is? Because as much as I don't like a lot of his analysis, Charles Barkley did say something pretty good the other day. He's like, I really don't know who the second best team in the Western Conference is. And I think you could make an argument for a ton of teams to be the second best team in the Western Conference. I'm interested. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree 100%. Um, I think I think there's like two or three teams for sure. Nuggets, Grizzlies,
Okay,
Lakers,
I
maybe
was
Rockets. Yeah. I mean they all are the 2 seed pretty much. Only separated by one game, which is really crazy to think.
yeah. And like if they continue to play well, I could see an argument for Minnesota or the Warriors too. Like, I don't think any of it's out of question, in my opinion. Um, it'll be interesting, I think. If you had to lean one team right now, who would you say?
Oh, if I were to pick one team out of those 3,
Yeah,
I tell you what, I don't like to say this, but low key, the Lakers are different with Luca and a healthy LeBron on the court. Like it's something about them. They just win. Like they just find ways to win. It's like it might be kind of a cop out way to say it, but I mean it's just what I've seen. Like every time I watch the game, and I think the other team is going to win for sure, and they just find a way. Namely against the Clippers. They did really good against the Clippers. They handled the Clippers really well, and the Clippers are a team I'm very high on, as you know. Uh, so yeah, they have a really good defense. They're able like JJ Redick somehow has this defense like I think top 10 maybe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Pat. But it's if it's not top 10, it's improved mightily, and that's with Luca, one of the uh, most questionable defenders in the league, probably right now. But they have guys like DFS that can go out and play defense. They've been playing without Rui for a little bit, and one of the points that I was gonna bring up later in the episode, but LeBron now being injured is gonna hurt them a little bit, which we may see them fall to like the 4 seed or the 5 seed, which is just crazy because I do like this team as the 2 seed. If not them, then maybe the Nuggets. I don't know. There's the Grizzlies are very I they're gonna have to prove something to me in this playoffs because I'm not quite yet sold.
yeah. I think I would pick the Nuggets. Um, the Lakers are really interesting. I think we've given props, but I think like JJ Redick needs a ton of props for how good he's made this Lakers team. They're rolling right now with Alex Len as their primary center, and he's just not good. And they're still like a pretty respectable defense in the season in total. And then no, like over the past like couple months, they're legitimately awesome on the defensive side of the floor. Um, I think the the magic of Luka and LeBron just allows them to pick on a mismatch, like literally no matter what. And I think Austin Reeves also plays a part in that. Um, they're just really good. I think currently they're just outside of the top 10 on both offense and defense, but like I said before, like it's trending in the right direction. I think I would pick them as the third team. I think Denver for me is the top team. I think a lot of why they struggled early in the year is Aaron Gordon was hurt, Jamal Murray wasn't playing like Jamal Murray, and now he is playing like Jamal Murray. It's kind of it's looking like the normal Denver team that we're used to, and they're getting a lot out of their role players relative to what they were getting at the start of the year. So I think I would still pick Denver. I don't. Some of that has to do with the stigma around the Lakers never being able to beat the Nuggets, and that would just be a great second round series, and I hope we see that. Um, we'll just have to see. I think the next grouping for me would be like Golden State, Memphis, and Minnesota probably. I want to throw the Rockets in there, but it's just going to be really hard with them right now because they've had a ton of missed time from Şengün and Van Vliet recently. I think they're both back now. At least Van Vliet I know is, and their offense has slipped a ton. Their defense is still top 3 in the league. It's just I need to see them playing at a higher level offensively than they have been in the past couple of weeks before I'm really sold on Houston being one of those teams. So, do you have anything else on those super high West contenders?
No, but I did like what you said with the you said grouping the second tier, and you mentioned the Warriors. I agree 100% with that. They're 9-1 in their last 10 and 1-6, and Jimmy Butler's been a really good addition to this team. And it's just I think we both agree that it's nice to see him playing basketball again. He had a triple double the other day, and he's averaging like 16, 5, and 5. So ever since he came to the Warriors, just everything's been clicking. So it's really really nice to see.
I agree. Um, more not more notably, but also notably for the Warriors is Steph Curry last night uh, scored his 4,000th career three-pointer, first player in NBA history to ever accomplish such feat. Um, thing is, somebody else is definitely going to do it. Finn and I were talking about it while we were watching the game. Uh, just with how much three-point volume there is nowadays, like, it's going to be passed, and I wouldn't be surprised if Steph Curry isn't the record holder in like 10 to 15 years for the three-point record. Not to throw any rain on his parade, because I think the fact that somebody's passing him is largely because of the greatness that he did for the three-point shot. Um, just to point out the record that Steph Curry had broken the other night. Do you have anything on Steph Curry?
No, yeah, I wanted to highlight that too. Crazy stuff. Um, I remember I was watching it, waiting for, of course, our king Cardi to drop. I was watching ESPN, and they were showing the highlights of that game, and I was just like, "Dang, this is crazy!" Like what we just witnessed, throughout throughout his tenure. I I have an interesting question for you off pod. I have an interesting question for you off pod about Curry, or we could bring it up now.
Why is it? Why is why is it off pod?
Okay,
We can
okay.
ask it now.
What do you think his most memorable moment is? Because I was talking with someone, and they said his most memorable moment was the Olympic shot. And I was
Oh,
like, what about like the Mike Breen
oh,
double bang against the Thunder? I think like that low key might be
that
a
was
little
gonna be my
more.
answer.
Or also like the that one clip where he like dribbles between everyone and hits the three. I feel like those two are a little more
Or
iconic, right?
the night and against Boston.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
exactly, exactly. Like
but the Olympic shot is up
it,
there.
it
It's just
is, bro.
I
But
think I would pick
that
those
is not what you think of when you think of Curry. You know?
for me at least. being someone who's watched Steph Curry the past 10 years of playing. Um, Speaking of Mike Breen double bangs, did you see the newest addition
For who?
for a double bang?
Oh, yes. Was it the Mikal Bridges?
Yeah. Um, Second most uh, lead changes in a single game since the tracking era started in like 2001. The other game was a Nets versus Hawks game that was 114 to 113 with a Miguel Bridges game winner. Um, Same score, same outcome at the end. It just a crazy coincidence to have happen. Um, do you want to talk about the Knicks?
Yeah, let's talk about the Knicks because I mean, of course, I have the big thing on them, and it's that Jalen Brunson's out. Is he out until the playoffs, Pat? Right?
So he on his testing, he avoided any high ankle sprain diagnosis. Um, so that means he'll be back for the playoffs. It's just a matter of how early he'll be back for the playoffs. I think the original timeline was 2 to 4 weeks. Um, a lot of people are saying that it looks very similar to the Jonathan Kuminga injury
Okay.
that happened earlier this year.
Yeah.
Kuminga missed about six
Yeah.
weeks, and just got back last
Yeah.
night. So
The
we'll see.
the good news is, like, y'all are still like you guys are still staying afloat. I think the only problem is I think the 2 seed now is out of contention. I feel like y'all had a little bit of a chance with Brunson, but I don't know now.
Yeah, I think there was a slight chance. It was somewhat unlikely before anyway, like 4.5 out. Um, Now it's just like, yeah, you're 5 up on the 4 seed. You're probably just going to be the 3 seed regardless.
Yeah,
So
which is not a bad spot to be in.
I don't think, yeah, your your fate is kind of already sealed at this point for the regular season. But I do think with them, we can find out a little bit more about the team just with the fact that Mitchell Robinson's back. I think since he's come back, their defensive rating is like third in the league. Like it's, which is, they've had stretches where they've had really good defenses this year, but it's that good. I think a little bit of it too is they've switched how they use OG Anunoby. They're not plugging him off ball as much. They're kind of just putting him right up against your best player every game versus before. They had to use him as a helper a little bit more. Um, I think there's real defensive changes, and I we'll see by the end of the season because ultimately, if the defense isn't better than it's been in totality this year, I think it's up to like 14th now. Um, if it's not better than it's been in totality, then it's not looking good to make a deep playoff run. Although they'll probably still make it into the second round. Do you want to comment on the Bridges the minutes thing that came out?
Say one more time.
Did you see the thing with Bridges commenting on like
Yes.
the starters playing too
Yeah,
many
that was
minutes?
crazy. That's crazy because like going I always feel weird about like the media stuff when that's like a locker room talk, you know? Like that's I think maybe I'm tripping. Like I'm thinking that Tibbs was like, "Fuck no, I'm not doing that." So like Mikal or went to the media, so like they would force Tibbs' hand. Like that's crazy, especially coming from Mikal Bridges of all people. Like bro has played the most minutes in NBA history, and he's complaining. It's very interesting. I don't know, but it like works, so he's not gonna go away from it. So I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like if this was a previous year Knicks team, I would understand it. And like those starters have been playing less since Mitchell Robinson's come back. Um, so that's a part of it. And then they also just don't play that much more than other team starters. Like, I think Phoenix has two guys playing 37 minutes per game. Um, I think the Knicks have two, and then Anunoby plays like 36. It's a little bit more than everybody else, but I think a lot of that just has to do with the fact that, like, hey, your eighth best player is Precious Achiuwa. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
it's
I
just
feel
not.
like this team isn't as
There's
deep as like when you had I mean, obviously you have McBride coming off the bench and a couple other guys, but after that, like Bacam Diate and all them, like you don't want to see them be getting minutes just yet. I agree with that. I agree. Yeah.
like Tyler Kolek and Ariel Hukporty were second round picks, and like you're not gonna play Kolek next to
Got the G
campaign.
League teams.
So it just they have 7 NBA players, like good NBA players,
Yeah.
right? They're starters, then McBride and Mitchell Robinson, and Mitchell Robinson's missed most of the season. So it's weird. There's not really like the team kind of had to either play their starters a ton or just lose because they're going to lose a lot more if they didn't do that. Um, let's see. What team do we want to talk about a little bit more?
I mean, I feel like we talk about him so much, but I want to push. I'm just trying to push this as my chip favorite. And the Cavs are 15 straight winners.
Okay, see.
They just beat the
Ooh,
Celtics. They have the
okay.
best offense in the league and a top 5 defense. I'm excited for the Cavs to show some people um, what they can do. I think this is going to continue into the playoffs. Did you watch the Cavs game at all? Against the Celtics? I watched like I think I watched like
Um,
the
I
I
definitely
think
did.
huh?
Wait, which one? The down 23
Yeah, the
game?
25 to
Were
3
they down
game. Yeah.
23 and like yeah.
Yeah. They got down 25 to 3 insane comeback. Donovan Mitchell was gross. Um yeah, I like the Cavs and they've won 15 straight. They might end up with what were we talking about on one of the pods you posed the question. It was I think 70 wins.
70.
Um is they still have a
I'd have to
possibility?
go 15 and 2.
They what? They just need 60?
If they go
So
if they go 15 and 2, they would get to 70. Um,
see. I don't know.
they'll get to low 60s, I think.
I don't know. I don't know about 70. They'll definitely win 65 though. Um, but still,
Yeah.
just crazy, man. This is fun. Cavs are good again. Um, and they have like MVP. They have an MVP front runner. They're not front runner. MVP. They have a couple guys.
Sound
Yeah.
about like
MVP talk. Whispers on my MVP ballot.
whispers. Whispers is the word.
Um,
Oh, okay.
but yeah, I think that's everyone I want to
Um,
talk about right now. I think those are the main guys. Um,
yeah.
I have a couple other things
And
to
with
say,
Cleveland too,
but
like
I don't know.
okay, yeah. With Cleveland too though, like a lot of people still think they're the same team that played the Knicks in the playoffs 2 years ago, and like they're really just not. Like Evan Mobley's got so much better. Their offense is so much better. Like, the coaching is so much better. Their depth is so much better than it was 2 years ago. Like, sure, the top four guys are still there, but you
The
know,
development is so much
and sure,
better.
like Donovan Mitchell, Garland, yeah, and like Garland, Mitchell, and Allen are still probably about the same players they were a couple years ago, but Mobley's better. Their sixth man is better. Whoever you want to say it is, whether it's Ty Jerome or now it's probably DeAndre Hunter, he's better. All of their wing options are better, right? Okoro has actually improved a lot since 2022, and Dean Wade is a lot better than Okoro was in 2022, and Max Strus is there too. They just have a lot more depth. And I think a year ago, they spent so much time injured, and we talked about it all the time, how they were just repeatedly injured. And it was, hey, Mitchell would get back, but then Garland and Mobley would get hurt. And it would just keep repeating itself. I think the fact that that happened people still pretended like the Celtics were healthy that season. Not the Celtics, the Cavs were healthy that entire season. And then when they get into the playoffs and they're fully healthy, they actually did a good job challenging the Celtics until Donovan Mitchell got hurt. Like they put up the best fight against the Celtics out of anybody last year. So I do think they're legit. Will they get past the Celtics and the Thunder? I don't know. We'll see first. Um, I think it'll be really good series though, and I think those are the three teams that I would say, hey, these are title favorites. I wouldn't say that about any other team. Um, do you have like a different grouping of title favorites versus other guys who are contenders?
Um, I mean, generally, yeah. I mean, obviously, I think the top three: Cavs, Celtics, Thunder, uh, Knicks. Yeah, we'll throw the Knicks in there. Knicks, Bucks, Pacers. I think that'd be my cutoff for the East for like maybes. The West.
Yeah, for long shots.
Huh. And then for the West, I think like dark horse, not dark. I think the Nuggets could win it. Like they're a team I could put in like maybe that top three guys. Um, Probably Nuggets, Lakers, Grizzlies, cut off there. Warriors, Timberwolves. That's the next tier, something like that.
It's
I don't know. I don't know. That's just kind of off the dome.
West playoffs are gonna be great.
The West
They're
is
just gonna be
crazy,
great.
man. Like
Uh,
everyone is a winning record except for the Mavs, but they're not really in the they're in the play-in, so they really matter that much.
yeah, we're gonna see yeah, we're gonna see like a historically great first round West series, and maybe that speaks a little bit to how poor relative to the West the East has been, but I still think there's gonna be some fun East series. It's just like in the first round, like it's gonna be like either Milwaukee, Indiana, or Detroit in for one of those teams, and like people aren't gonna care about that series. It's like the Cavs versus Orlando series from a year ago, where it's actually pretty good basketball, but just nobody cares about it. That's gonna be really good, and then I don't think any of the play-in teams are really any good at all, but you know, I think the top six in the East is still fun. It's just I'm not sure how strong the other three East teams would be. I think there's the strong top two in the East, and the Knicks are like not a dark shot, but like they have a roll on their dice that could get them to win the finals, and then like everybody else is just like ooh. Like I think Milwaukee and Indiana are like a dark shot, dark horse, and then like I don't. Do you think Detroit really has any opportunity?
Ah, no, not yet, not yet. But I mean, this team is I think already accomplished so much that I mean they could. I just don't think I no. I don't think so, but I could see them like being competitive. Like I said, especially if they maybe get the Knicks with no Brunson, Cade Cunningham, and then maybe steal a game or two. Maybe steal one in Madison Square Garden. I don't know. Um,
They will 100% because there's going to be a game where Malik Beasley or
oh
Tobias Harris
God, bro.
just doesn't miss.
Beasley and Hardaway are
Uh,
gonna combine for 30 or like 35 for like 42 off of like
Tate'll
6 made
have
threes.
like 15 on 4 of 18
Yeah.
shooting, but he'll have 15 assists. Like that's how the game will go. I'm
Hey,
very sure of it that they will steal.
Wizards beat Pistons. Shout out last night.
Shout out to the Wizards.
Dude, we're looking good.
Um,
We're looking good.
they're back.
Future's bright.
Uh, Speaking of, since we're talking about those East guys, we have to talk about the Milwaukee, Indiana ending. that happened the other day, specifically the last play, because when we play NBA 2K together over the past couple of years, and it's been a little infrequently because of my traveling right now, but on the last play of the game, Indiana did something that I've said for a while that teams should just break out all of a sudden. They ran a football
Yep.
play. They ran mesh,
Yep.
for anybody who knows what mesh
Two
is.
tapped in.
And they got a game winner out of it. I've been saying when we run threes, we gotta run routes out there. And Indiana ran routes and they got an and 1 3-point attempt from Tyrese Halliburton. It was crazy. Do you think this is gonna start anything, or do you think it's just like a nail, just a random thing in the? Ignore my metaphor.
Say it one more time. Sorry, Pat. I
Do you think this is gonna? Do you think this is gonna start something, or do you think this is just like a
no,
one-off
I think
thing?
this is definitely gonna be maybe. Yeah, no, I think this definitely, especially in today's game of innovating and always adapting, and like you said, teams maybe not as consistent, more for like 5 second and less plays. You know what I mean? Maybe not like a every time occurrence,
Mhm.
more like late game scenarios. But yeah, I agree 100% with you. Um, yeah, and it's about time someone did it. And if I'm not mistaken, they tried it one time before, and it just didn't work. Um,
I don't
I
remember
I
that.
saw it was like a clip. It was like a side by side or a split clip. I'll try to find it, but yeah, it was a while ago. It was
Yeah.
like a random game in like 2021 or 2022 or something like that, or 2020.
Okay.
So yeah, but yeah, teams will definitely start.
Yeah, I would say that is the thing you mentioned is when it would be optimal. Like 5 seconds left, you just need to catch the ball and get a shot attempt up, which is what NFL plays are. You need to catch the ball and make a football move after, like that. Essentially the same thing. And I think the fun part is too. It was the ball went to the person that it would go to in an NFL play. Like it went to the under that got a pick from the other under route. Yeah, I think it's just fun for somebody who enjoys both sports to see that happening. Um, do you have a couple quick storylines too?
Sorry, did you say do I have anything else?
Yeah, a couple quick storylines.
Not on this topic, but if you want to move to something else, I can.
Okay, I got one more big one,
You got one
and
more?
then we'll run through those quick
All right,
ones.
go ahead.
Yeah, I'm. It's come out not recently, but over the past week or so. Kevin Durant
Yes,
very likely to be traded this
perfect.
offseason. I was thinking about it because like who's gonna get Kevin Durant? Like Detroit like could be an interesting fit. Like I don't really know exactly where the team is. I'm seeing a ton of OKC, but like are they really gonna gut out Hartenstein and Aaron
When
Wiggins
why I don't.
plus
Sorry, let me
picks?
jump in real quick. I don't like the dang bro, the AC. I don't I don't like the Chet Holmgren thing. I've been seeing that KD for Chet Holmgren. Why would you do that? I don't understand why. Your team's already top seed in the West. Chet Holmgren's way younger, way better on defense. You don't need him to be like you already have Jay Will and Isaiah Joe, who's a crazy shooter, and you have freaking SGA. Like why would I? There's no need to break up this core for Kevin Durant at this point. While I think Kevin Durant's a great player, and yeah, I just wanted to say that real quick. Sorry, go ahead, Pat.
Yeah, and I think you can make similar arguments for the Rockets too. Like just keep Tari Eason and Amen Thompson. Like don't ship off guys like that. And I think Jalen Green would be moved. That's why I like Devin Booker more so for Houston because I think he can go in to their lineup and just be. I think that would be awesome. I hope that ends up happening. The reports are saying that they're not looking to move Devin Booker though this offseason. Detroit was the team that kind of pops out for me. Like maybe you work out. I don't think the return for Kevin Durant is going to be like that crazy, like people think it is. Like it might be Jalen Duran, Jay, and Ivy in like 2 first-round picks, and then salary matching. Like I think that could end up being the Kevin Durant trade package. And then I came across just thinking about it. Like we've talked about, I predicted that expansion would be announced this year, and then it would come in the 26-27 season. What if it's just like he waits around on a team just to retire with the Seattle Supersonics?
Sorry, I couldn't. You were like breaking up, but can you say it one more time?
What if KD waits around for a couple of years and then ends up retiring on the Supersonics?
So if he gets traded, then he just ends up retiring in a couple years
Yeah, on the Supersonics.
on the Supersonics. Oh, like
Yeah.
on an expansion team. That'd be so fun. That would actually be so fun. That would be that would be crazy for basketball. That'd be like NBA is scripted for sure. Um, yeah, that'd be cool. Huh, I like that. I think the asking price is what three
Well,
first and a young player. Uh, I I I like
yeah.
the Rockets. I think what you said. They have so many. Just keep Amen and Tari. Maybe Jalen Green. Actually, yeah. I would make. I kind of
They
want
got
to
to pack
keep
somebody
Jabari
up.
Smith too in that. I don't know what you feel. Maybe he's expendable to you. I don't know. I just like him, but I think
Yeah.
that's probably the best bet. And they need a scorer like that. Like that would make sense to me. Unloading for him makes more sense than the Thunder because Thunder already has like two guys they could go to, and Rockets they don't really have like a closer.
And another team too, I'll throw it out there. Like Minnesota could make sense.
So
Um,
oh yeah,
the uh,
Katie and
the Karl Anthony Towns contract like matches Kevin Durant's. It's the same contract essentially. They could ship off Randall, DiVincenzo, and Conley, and that would be enough contract wise to get Randall. Like I'm sure, like hey, if they include not Nas Reed, Rob Dillingham, and whatever. They don't have many first round picks left. I think they might have a single tradable first. Like it could honestly be enough to do it. Um,
honestly they could trade Nas Reed because he's probably going to leave in free agency next summer.
we'll see. We'll see. They,
Trade him now.
I think
Trade
they'll
him
bring him
now
back.
before he leaves you. Come on, it's a cold world, Pat. It's a cold world.
It is a cold world. Um, I'll just go ahead and bring up the Seattle stuff because there is a lot of Seattle stuff for KD. Um, Whenever he's been asked about what team should be the expansion team, he always says Seattle. I think he's kind of obligated to say Seattle, but he said Seattle. And then he was asked who the Kevin Durant of Major League Baseball was. Did you see who his answer was?
Do you hear me?
No.
I said, can you just repeat it one more time? Sorry.
Kevin Durant named a MLB player the KD of baseball. Did you see who it was?
Name a. Oh, sorry, bro. It keeps like cutting out. I can't hear what you're saying.
KD named one player the Kevin Durant of Major League Baseball. Did you see who it was?
Oh my gosh, bro. You're gonna have to cut this out. I can't like say it one more time. I keep hearing like something about ass.
I'm texting it.
Okay,
I'm
thank
texting
you,
it.
bro. I sent you the video. You can hear how bad it is, bro. Like, bro. Oh, okay, okay. Um, did I see who it was? I I did, but I forgot who it was. It's someone like crazy. Who did he say it was?
He said it was Julio Rodriguez.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So for the non-Major League Baseball knowers, Julio Rodriguez is the star 23-year-old player for the Seattle Mariners.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're probably grasping at nothing here, but hey, he's got the connection. He played there as a 19-year-old. Maybe he would like to return there. Um, yeah, go. Do you have your quick storylines to go over?
Did you say anything else?
I was asking if you had your quick storylines that you wanted to go over.
Okay. I'm just gonna assume that you just said anything else I wanted to go over. Um so De'Aaron Fox is injured. They shut him down. I think he's getting surgery, which is crazy to me. It's crazy how the Spurs are really in tank mode right now. Um and they're probably gonna get uh a really high draft pick, and they're gonna be probably like a favorite next year because they're gonna have this is one of the most stacked draft classes in recent in the recent years. Um, so they're looking at like a top 6 pick, and they already have and think they're gonna have like two of them because they have the Hawks pick as well. Um, so really interesting stuff there. Bilal Koulibaly's injured; he's out for 4 to 6 weeks, which sucks. But yeah, also Paul George. I don't know if you saw, but the 76ers are looking to trade him this summer. No one is going to be taking that contract, though, or trading for him. So, crazy stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wrote down.
Yeah, uh, that pretty much covers everything that I would have had. I think the Spurs stuff is fun. Like, what if they just get Cooper Flag, who had an ankle injury? Maybe it pushes him down a little bit. We'll end up seeing. Because Victor and Wemby, not Victor and Wemby, Victor and Cooper Flag would be crazy.
I don't know. I have some.
Did you have
I
an
have I have some intuition that Cooper Flag's gonna stay one more year. I don't know. I feel it, bruh. And he just got hurt. Like if this injury is significant, I think he'll stay. I think he'll stay.
maybe? I feel like I have felt like all the talk of him staying is about him not wanting to do the Jazz or the Wizards. Like that's what I've understood it as. Uh,
Oh, true.
Jazz fans are saying, "Hey, we'll be bad next year. We can wait another year. We
Yeah.
can do it again."
Larry marketing ain't going nowhere. I saw a Katie trade
Um,
real quick before we wrap up. I saw a Katie trade that was Katie. Oh man, I think it was Katie to the Rockets, marketing to the Suns, and then the Jazz got like Jalen Green and like a bunch of like a couple other Rockets that were pretty good. It was very, very strange. I was like, this would be weird. This would be so weird. But yeah, just
yeah,
wanted to
it's
throw that
weird.
out there.
Just take the young Rocket players. At that point, just take the Rocket guys.
Exactly.
Um, yeah. You got anything else before we wrap this one up?
Nope.
Alrighty. That'll do it for this episode. Next week's episode, we'll decide on what we want to do for next week's episode. It'll either be another redraft or it will be uh, what is literally the thing we did right before that.
What was it?
For some reason, I'm blanking.
Uh,
It'll either be another
redraft,
redraft or like
redraft, or
another
hearing
debate style
debate.
episode. Yeah. It'll be one of those two things. Y'all will know by next week. It would be the 2013 draft if we did the 2013 draft, and we don't know what debate topic we might do. Hopefully, I don't think it will be an NBA Film Room episode coming out this week, but it will be hopefully another short form video that hopefully will be pretty interesting. Yeah, so we will see you guys
Do it
next
on
week,
the
and there
Wizards.
will be an MLB episode coming out at some point next week as well.